Hi creative friends! It's hard to believe that it's been almost a whole year since we first received and mounted this beautiful 3D world map by Enjoy the Wood, and I've absolutely loved having it in my living room. So you may notice that there are tons of boxes all around me, and that's because I'm moving. So I'm moving with my family to the country. We're going 2 hours from where we are right now. I'm looking forward to sharing our new home with you. It's a 12-year-old Tudor-style home, and it needs a little bit of TLC. So there's definitely going to be some DIYs in the works, and please subscribe to follow along with us on the journey. So it really wasn't a surprise to us when the buyers of this house asked if we wouldn't mind leaving the map behind, but my sister already claimed it. So given how popular our first video was of when we unboxed the map and installed it onto the wall, we thought it would be helpful to go through the process of removing the map. So this map is going to my sister's house, and I'm going to be getting a brand new one for my new home. Along the way, we're going to answer some of the most popular questions we've had on our first video, as well as share some helpful tips to get your map onto the wall. So let's get started. If you're wondering how these pieces are attached to the wall, well, it's using a roll of double-sided tape that comes with the 3D world map. Now that it's on the wall, we have to start to take it off. And the best way to do that is to use a blow dryer. So I'm gonna put it on warm temperature, and I'm gonna start with all the small little pieces, and one at a time, I'm going to remove them off the wall. I don't know exactly how long this is gonna take me. My guess it's gonna be a little while. Okay, so here's my first piece that I took off. So I let the glue that's on the backside, the double-sided tape, heat up with the blow dryer, and then that made it easier to peel off. Before I put it in the box, I'm gonna peel this off because I plan to use a new roll of double-sided tape to reapply these to the wall. Okay, one done and a million or so to go. Another option, if you are planning to maybe move in the future, is to actually apply the map on another piece of another layer, maybe of wood, like a nice piece of plywood that's painted like the same color as your wall, or on a sheet of cork, and then to frame it out like it's an actual piece of art on your wall. That would help you if you need to then relocate the map in a way that's going to be quicker and easier than removing each individual piece like I'm about to do. Okay, so I've been at it for an hour now, and it is a long process. So you see I've taken off most of the little islands and small pieces on this side of the world, and then I still have to do this side. So I'm taking a little bit of a break. I think if I wasn't actually moving out of the house tomorrow, I would probably say this is about as much as I want to do for today, and then I would continue again. But I am moving out of the house, so I have to keep at it. It is doable, it just does take some time. So maybe plan out over maybe a week or two and do a little bit each day. So I definitely enjoyed putting the map on the wall a lot more than I am enjoying taking it off. But I love the map, so it's definitely coming along with us, or actually this one's going to my sister, so she'll appreciate it. So just a few tips. So when you're holding the blow dryer, you want to get as much heat to the double-sided tape behind the wood piece as possible. So you want to try and pry the piece, just a little corner of the piece off the wall, just so you can get your hot glue, oh my goodness, your hot air onto the adhesive, and then that's going to loosen the glue. So you see, like, you will find that as more heat gets to the double-sided tape, it'll start to loosen the tape, and it'll slowly start to peel off on its own. Just apply a little bit of pressure at a time, because you don't want to rip it off and risk damaging the wooden piece, because some of the pieces and some of those islands are so intricately shaped that they could be weak in spots, and you don't want to risk breaking them. So you'll kind of get a sense of which pieces are a little bit more stable and some that need a little bit more time, because you don't want to pull on them too much. So now that I know how time consuming it is to take the pieces off, I wouldn't have used as big of pieces when I was applying the map onto the wall. So it doesn't take much to make these pieces stick. So just like the smallest little piece of double-sided tape is needed, and more towards the edges, and then that'll make it a lot easier when you want to go and remove it later on if you need to, or whatever the case is. So I am going to continue now, and hopefully this will, maybe I'm hoping like an hour and a half more to go, and we'll see, we're timing it. And I think if you have more people to help you, that would be a huge help. Okay, so it's update time. I have quite a bit of the map off, and luckily my sister Jane came in to help out, and then it does go faster. It actually, especially for these bigger pieces, when you're trying to take them off, it helps to have two people so you can heat on both sides and then slowly start to peel the piece off. When you only have one hairdryer blowing into the piece, you're kind of stuck doing one small section at a time, so it really helps to have both sides heated at the same time. So we do have some little pockets on the wall that did peel off when we were prying these off, maybe a little bit too forcefully. We should have been a bit more gentle, but just in general, my wall actually, when it was drywalled and mudded, there are some just little pockets throughout that now that I'm trying to take the double-sided tape, causing the paint to peel a little bit. So I'm gonna have to do some touch-ups for sure. Okay, so some additional tools were needed. So we grabbed from the kitchen this spatula, wooden spatula, and then also this scraper tool as well we have, and it's nice, it's thin, but you have to be really careful. You don't want to scratch the wall with this. But both of these tools, they help you get the piece a little bit pried off of the wall so you can then go in and add some more heat to the tape. Something like this would actually be really handy to have when you're taking your world map down. Okay, so the map is off of the wall, and I'm very happy, and Jane's super excited as well, that we managed to get all of the pieces off of the wall without any damage to them at all. So they're in great condition, which means that we are able to now go ahead and remount the map on her wall in her house, as well as mount the new map that I'm going to be getting onto the wall in my house. So stay tuned for that, because we're going to be sharing that process with you in another video that's going to be coming soon. Okay, so we've come up with 4 tips that we think would be very beneficial to anybody looking to place a map on their wall or need of removing their map from the wall and relocating it. The first tip is to keep the packaging that your map originally arrived in. So this adorable little box that is the shape of a suitcase is really cute, but you want to keep it because it will hold all of your pieces, and you don't want to lose anything. There's so many little tiny pieces that it would be such a shame to lose a part of your map. Additionally, the box, when it arrives, when you first mount it, has this template for placement. So this is really handy when you're going to put it up for the first time, but then also when you go to take it down and relocate it, you want to have the same template. So by keeping the packaging, you also keep this, and you'll have everything you need to remount the map. Tip number 2, and this applies to when you're mounting the map. It's a very important point, and that is to make sure you're using the smallest pieces that you can of the tape and sticking them to the back side of the map. You don't want to use big pieces, and you don't want to use a lot of them, because that just makes the process of removing the map off the wall that much harder and longer. So for me right now, I do have some patch work to do on my wall because of areas that got damaged when I was taking the map off. The map itself is in great condition, but the wall does need a little bit of repair work. So if I had used pieces originally of the tape that were small, it would have made removing the world map off my wall so much easier. Tip number 3 is to take your time. So the process from start to finish to remove the map off of the wall took 3 hours, and that's with myself and my sister Jane helping helping me. So 3 hours steady, if you can. Don't leave it to the very last day like I did. Give yourself enough time so that you're not overdoing it and you're definitely taking time, and you don't want to rush it because you don't want to damage your world map. You want to be able to reuse it and keep it in great condition, and you don't want to do any damage to your walls either. So give yourself plenty of time. It can be done, and I'm so pleased with how it came off, even though it took time, but the map itself is in great condition. So for tip number 4 is related to the tools that you need. So if you are removing your map, definitely have a blow dryer on hand to heat up the tape. And then also a spatula, something like this or this, but as thin as possible. It comes in handy to help you pry the pieces off the wall. Thanks so much for watching. We're so excited for you if you're considering getting your own wooden world map from Enjoy the Wood. We can't recommend it enough. We love ours, and I love it so much that I'm getting another one. So I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. If you have any questions at all, leave them below in the comment section. Subscribe to our channel, Sustain My Craft Habit, to stay informed on new videos that we have, as well as the video that we'll be sharing of the new map going into my house soon.